Rob Tebber here for ID Boxing. It's the return of the king here in London. It's Amir Khan. How are you, Amir? Nice to see you.
That was a nice introduction. I'm doing all right. I'm doing good, man. Just as a retired fighter, just enjoying myself. Coming to boxing fights as a fan, just sitting around and enjoying life. Look, I've done all the hard work. I've moved. Well, I'll have a holiday home in Dubai, so I spend a lot of time there with my family. I have TV shows I do. Just enjoying life now. Honestly, still get aches and pains in the morning when I wake up from all the hard training I've been doing day in, day out. But look, I'm glad the career's over. I'm kind of happy, really.
You sound relieved. I was going to ask if there's any temptation to return to the ring, but it feels like a bit of a silly question now.
A bit of a silly question, mate, to be honest with you. I don't want to even put the gloves on. Honestly, you know what I did was I kept my training gloves and training bag in the room, and I thought, you know what, one day maybe I just want to put them on and do some training. But you know what, to be honest with you, since the fight, I'm not even touched the gloves, not even looked at them. I'm done with boxing, to be honest with you. You know, sometimes you love it that much that you can start hating it, and I think that's what happened with me. I had a love-hate relationship with boxing, and now I'm glad it's over. It's that weight off my shoulders. I can just relax and be a boxing fan now.
Be a boxing fan, and you were here, of course, tonight as a fan. Before we touch on the main event, let's talk about Hamza Shiraz. Blistering performance from Hamza Shiraz.
I don't really follow much of his career, to be honest with you, so I don't know much about him. I just think he's a bit arrogant, to be honest with you, as a fighter, and ignorant, to be honest with you. So, I mean, look, it is what it is. Some fighters, sometimes a little win can get to your head. You know what I mean? And I mean, that's the one thing that never happened to me. I won world titles. I went up and down America and fights that, you know, beating guys like Alexander and Collazo, Algieri. I mean, not even getting to my head. I was just keeping it real, you know what I'm saying? But some guys it gets to the head, and I think they just start, yeah, so I kind of didn't watch that fight. I mean, I was in traffic anyway. I think there was much better things to do than listen to some music than watching that fight. But then I came for the Ryder fight, which is the one I wanted to watch, and Ryder boxed really, really well. You know, put in a great performance. I think it was a shame that Parker hurt his hand. Look, in boxing that can happen. You know what I'm saying? In the middle of the round, boom, hand's gone, and obviously you have to just go to Plan B, Plan C. Obviously, Plan C then has to be occurred. You know, I had to pull out the fight, and I'm sure no fighter wants to pull out of a fight like that. It must have been really bad for him to pull out that fight.
Now, you're here as well as being a fan. You're on punditry duties tomorrow for Adam Azim at Alexandra Palace. I know Adam Azim, somebody who you've taken a keen interest in his career. He names you as his idol. How much are you looking forward to seeing him back in the ring?
Well, probably one of the top fighters coming up in boxing for me, because the kid's got power, he's got speed, he's got movement. But you know, but I want to see him in a fight. I mean, the guy's fighting looks quite decent. You know, looks in great shape and everything. But I want to see him in a proper fight where someone's gonna push him back, and we're gonna see the way Adam's gonna retaliate, and the way he's gonna, when he gets hit, the way he's gonna, you know, come back. I mean, yeah, you know, it's hard at the moment because he's outpowering his guys. But look, in my opinion, I think he's got all the tools to make it to the top. Like I said, as long as he stays focused, which he is, you know, I'm sure he'll get far. And also, credit to his brother Hassan. I think Hassan is another great talent. I think he's another great talent who's doing really, really well in the game, and wish him nothing but the best. I think he's another fighter that I think will go far as long as he's managed well and he keeps on training hard.
Quick couple from me, because I know you're about to be mobbed. So always nice to see you around anyway. Terence Crawford, somebody that you know very, very well. That fight with Errol Spence, we all want to see it. It hasn't happened, Amir. What do you make of that whole situation?
You know what? It's a shame that fight that happened, because obviously with different promotional companies, fights like that can't happen because Al Heyman maybe doesn't want to work with Crawford's team, which is obviously, I don't know if he's still with Bob Arum, but Top Rank. But you know, sometimes fighters can't make them fights because of promoters. Now Crawford, or like you just said, now he's a free agent. He can fight anyone he wants. But if that's a fight that everyone wants to see. In the 147 division, I mean, since Pacquiao and Mayweather, we've not had a massive fight in the 147 division. People are two fighters at their peak. I think Crawford and Spencer in their peak of their career, people want to see who's going to win that fight, you know. So even I'm excited to see that fight. I'll even fly over and get a ticket for that myself.
Last one from me. I know you've been asked about it, but I'm going to ask you about it as well. Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Tank Davis. That seems to me to be a fight that would be great for boxing. How do you see that one playing out?
Look, I was speaking to Joe Goosen today, and he says that because Joe Goosen trained me for 2 of my fights, and he says, look, he's looking really good, is Ryan Garcia. But the one thing about Tank's got that crazy power, and the way he dodges them shots, and I think he prefers fighting guys who are taller than him. He'll get under them shots and get them body shots in, and he hits hard, and his accuracy is on point. So I just lean more towards him. I think he's the better fighter, you know. But let's see. I mean, but anything can happen in boxing. I lean more towards Tank, but then Garcia might just pull off a massive win. You never know. You just don't know. I mean, this is boxing, but anything can happen.
Okay, Amir, I'm going to let you go now, but we need to see more of the King. Get back over here and let's do some more stuff in the future.
No problem, my brother. Take care.
Cheers.